Hello, everybody. I hope everyone's doing well during this unfortunate quarantine. It's a little boring, but we gotta do what we gotta do. So, in today's video, I will be responding to Iona's debate on U.S. intelligence. I think she did a great job in the video, and I agree with all of her points. Um, for this little response, I'm just adding on my personal takes onto the debate. Um, I do believe U.S. intelligence is important to the national security of our country. I feel like it would be very hard to make an argument against just because U.S. intelligence has proved most of the time quite reliable in the defense of the U.S. I mean, of course, there's been some pretty good slip ups. I would say most prominently the Bay of Pigs, uh, with the CIA's invasion into Cuba. That wasn't the greatest look for our intelligence services, but I think so overall the track record does hold well for our services. Um, yeah, I agree. George Washington during the Revolutionary War, he was a strong proponent of using spies, um, especially when you're coming up against an enemy that big as the British, who have such funds and such a strong military force that I feel it is only necessary to use a ring of spies to help get any kind of upper hand against the British. Um, Another example would be the OSS during World War II or the Office of Strategic Services. Um, their main goals were the use of sabotage, training spies to help kind of keep a lookout on the Nazis, the use of war propaganda to help cause a change within some of the individuals living in Nazi Germany and before. Even after the OSS, the formation of the CIA, they've where was I? They've helped to protect us against our foreign threats, more specifically during the Cold War. Um, while we never really did fight the Soviets in an actual war, only mainly proxy wars, it was primarily a war of intelligence and counterintelligence. Um, the Soviets put spies here in the U.S. We put spies in Russia. Um, our intelligence services, thanks to the FBI and the CIA, um, most prominently, we managed to capture the Rosenbergs, probably one of the most famous spies who I guess we managed to capture in history, who gave away details of our nuclear plans, jet propulsion, schematics to the Soviets during the Cold War in the 1950s. They were convicted and tried of treason, and they were sentenced to death. We can thank our intelligence services for protecting us and preventing them from supplying the Soviets with any more kind of information. Um, just in total, intelligence services are meant to not only kind of, I guess, in a sense, keep check on the rest of the world just to make sure nothing strange or out of the ordinary is going down, but also to protect the interests of our country, both on the home front and beyond. Um, we have to keep our eye out on suspicious activities, like in the most recent lecture of nuclear terrorism. Intelligence services are needed to make sure either people of interest or groups who either may or may not have access to potentially deadly weapons like nerve gas or nuclear materials. They're the ones who keep track of that. The FBI has a strong list of individuals who are suspicious here in the nation that we keep track of. Um, Intelligence is just served to defend ourselves. Um, no country's ever just gonna. It's not like a cartoon where you're just gonna devolve your plans to your enemy. No, it's always being able to prevent a strike from happening. And the only way to do that is to use our intelligence to help find leaks, find moles, and help understand the threats that we're working against. Um, and lastly, I think one of the greatest parts about the intelligence service is just how many Americans are employed by the intelligence service. The government is the number one employer in the U.S. of Americans, and the intelligence services specifically, like the FBI and CIA, require a lot of manpower to keep doing what they do. And hopefully one day, I know a lot of us would like to work in the intelligence services. I know if I had the opportunity, I would love to. It's a unique experience. The CIA and the FBI employ both Americans with military experience and without. It's a unique experience to help serve your country and protect against foreign threats. So I agree with Ilyona's response to debate number five, and I would like to hear a good argument against why um, intelligence services may not be as important as we think they are. But I don't know. I just feel like most of the facts make it very clear our intelligence is quite important. Thank you.